Hey guys, this is Mr. Gelming again. This is another video on box plots or box and whisker plots. So the last video had 16 cities or 16 pieces of data. It doesn't always have to be cities, but these are the examples I'm using, just temperatures. So this is another one, but this time I have 13 cities. So the way we did the other one, we'll do this one exactly the same, but it's actually just a little different if you have an odd amount of data. Since 13 is an odd number and we have 13 cities, this one's going to be a little bit different than 16. We do the steps exactly the same. Step 1, put them in order. Well, I've done that step for you on both examples that we've done. Why? Because I know you know how to put things in order. Step 2, usually at the bottom, this is where I make my number line. That way it's done. Whoa, got a little crazy there. I'm going to go from 45 to 85. My smallest number is 49. My biggest one's 81. So I'm going to go from 45 to 85. I'm going to put 65 in the middle, and I just kind of space it. 50, 55, 60, 65's there, 70, 75, 80. And I'm just going to label them real quick. 50, 55, 60. Not a bad idea for you to have a paper out with you on this one also. These aren't hard, but they're kind of a lot of steps. So step number 3, or the next step is to find the median of the data. As you can see, I've already rewritten it. This is nothing fancy. I just rewrote it twice. Why? Because you know my messy writing. Sometimes I can't see it. So there's 13. So 1, 1. There's 2. I'm finding the median. 3, 3. 4, 4. 5, 5, 6, 6. When you have an odd amount of data, 13's odd, your median is just going to be the middle number. Okay? Median is 67. So I go down here, 66, 67, 68, 69. I'm going to go above the 67, which is this one about right there. And I'm just putting a line. That's my median. Okay? Now, the next step, when we had 16, we split it into 2 equal groups of 8. Well, this time we only have 13, so we can't really split it into equal groups. So what we do is, whatever the median was, we take that out. We're not going to include that number anymore. So 67 we've already used. So we're going to take these 6 numbers. That's going to be my lower. And again, we're not using this one. And then these 6 numbers for my upper. So now I'm going to find the median of the lower 6 numbers. 1 there. Now 2, 2. Of course, since I have an even amount, we're gonna be stuck with 2 numbers. Well, 57 and 59 is pretty easy. The median, or the middle of that, is 58. Again, this is called my lower quartile. Lower quartile. And I go down here, I'm going to mark 56, 57, 58, 59. And 58 is going to go right there. That's my lower quartile. Next, we need to find the median, or the middle of the top half of the numbers. So again, 1, 1, 1, 1. This time I'm left with 70 and 70. Well, that's an easy one. The middle of 70 and 70 is 70. So I go down here, 70 is already marked, and I put my line. Again, 70 gives me my piece of data of my upper quartile. These 3 lines represent the box. I just kind of, it takes some practice drawing them, but I just make a box out of them. Okay? My other 2 pieces of data that I need, the next step is to find the minimum and mark it with a dot. Well, the minimum is the smallest number. So it's 49. This would be, so I'll go down to my number line, 46, 47, 48, 49. Be about right there. I put a dot there. And I connect that with a line to the box. Next step, so my minimum, is 49. Maximum is the biggest number. I look for the biggest number. It's 83, 81, 82, 83, 84. I go up to 83. I put a dot. And I draw a line and connect it. This is my box and whisker, okay? And the reason we call them quartiles is because it splits it into 4 parts, okay? Each part this is really cool about a box and whisker plot. Each part is 25% of my data. Okay? So if these were test scores, and test scores went from 49 to a high of 83, let's say, every section is exactly 25%. This down here, if I looked at all these scores, these would be my lowest 25% scores. These would be my top 25% scores. Also, if you were sitting in my class and I had this graph, you could look at it and say, oh, my score falls in the highest 25 or the lowest 25. These two are the middle 25. This section, even though it's much bigger than this other section, is 25% of the data falls in here. 1/4, exactly. 25% of the data, even though it's really small, falls in here. They're always divided into equal parts. Very cool about a box and whisker plot. Okay, the last thing that I'm going to mention here is, so the range of the data is the maximum 83 minus the minimum 49. Generally on a, I'm going to make some room here. Generally on a box plot or a box and whisker plot, oops, I should have kept that 70, sorry. That was 70 was my, I'm going to put that number back here. Maybe. Yeah. 70 was my upper quartile. They have something called the interquartile range. Interquartile range. Sounds really funny. All it means is the range of this box right here. The range of this box. All you have to do is, for the interquartile range, is take the upper quartile, which in this case was 70, minus the lower quartile, in this case was 58. That number was right here. These are these two numbers. Mark them here with a different. This and this. They want to know the range in between these two numbers. The reason that range is nice is that's your middle 50%. If this are test scores, half my kids, the middle 50%, scored in between these two scores, scored in between a 58 and a 70. If these are high temperatures in cities, the middle half was in between 58 and 70. The upper half went all the way up here to 83, and the upper 25%, excuse me, and the lower 25% went all the way down here to 49. So all I do is subtract those two numbers, 70 minus 58, and I get 12. My interquartile range of this data is 12. How do you get the interquartile range? You subtract the upper quartile minus the lower quartile. Again, this video was a little longer than I wanted to make it. Hopefully it makes sense. Hopefully you have a piece of paper out trying it as well. If you have any questions, please let me know. Hope to see you on some Google Meet this week, and I hope you understood it. All right, that's it. Thanks. Bye.